Why I hate being black in America is because everything is just not fair. It's not equal. I don't care what anybody says. It's never equal. And it's not just black people. It's not. If your skin complexion is not fair, if you're not an olive girl, you're not a peachy toned girl or an olive turned boy or any of that, then you're not going to be treated equally. You can be Asian, Hispanic, black, anything other than Caucasian, and you're going to get treated funny. And that's not fair. Like, if you look at things, it is never equal. It's not fair. Like, like, when certain things happen that upset my younger brother, like my brother, I feel like he has a lot of anxiety, and people look over that because we're children. People look over that, but I'm like in the middle of that age range. Like, I can understand what a younger person is going through, but I'm growing up, so I understand like an adult mind a little bit. So it's like my brother has a lot of anxiety. Like, certain things, like if it's too much commotion, too much ruckus, or yelling or anything like that, it bothers his behavior. He doesn't know how to deal with that. So like, it scares me because I know how my brother is very, very friendly. He plays it with every kid in this neighborhood, and he's a open person, and he's very, very, very outgoing, and that bothers me because somebody can take that wrong. And sometimes he doesn't, well, he never really means any harm to anyone, but someone could take offense to that. And then I have younger cousins and everything, and they play with toys, they put baseball bats, little play water guns. What are those other things called? You put the little foam darts in it. You probably know what I'm talking. A Nerf gun, that's what it's called. Nerf guns and all that stuff. But it scares me because, say, a police officer just rolls down the street and they mistake that for something else. All they have to say is, "I thought he had a weapon." And even though my youngest brother is 6, my other brother is 11, my younger cousin is 10, my other cousin, he is 3. It doesn't matter. Age doesn't matter. Your color doesn't matter. All of that. If you're not white, then nobody cares about you. Nobody cares. Like, if something was to happen to any one of my family members, I don't feel like we would get justice. I don't feel that way. They would not indict whoever did it. They wouldn't indict any police officer that did it. They'd probably give us a settlement after they realize that it's going to be a lot of protests and all of that going on. They want to shut us up. So the way that they're going to shut us up is they're going to offer some type of settlement. But that's not good enough. It's not. And another thing, it goes back to like the justice system and things like that. There are so many young black people that are sitting in jail for things they didn't even do, or things that they didn't deserve to go to jail for. And it's just, we can't do anything about it. But a white person, the first thing they're going to say is like, well, they have problems growing up because their fathers aren't in their lives, their mothers aren't in their lives. If they had a family structure, things would be different. It would be different. It would be a whole lot different. But you're continuously taking our mothers and fathers away from us. You're putting them behind bars. You're killing them off. You're doing all of these things to them. And then you point at us like hood rats and thugs and gangsters because we don't have parents. But you're the reason that we don't have parents. I understand some people do wrong things. They have a lot of talent, and they don't have the right funds. They don't have people helping them or anything like that. There aren't, here in Cobb County, is not a lot of things that you can get your child into, or you can put yourself in at all, because everything costs so much here. But the only places that they have like recs and free programs, the big brother, big sister programs, are places that are bad neighborhoods, places like that. But here in Cobb County, it wasn't a bad neighborhood, but you have kids that don't have any guidance because they don't have any parents around, right? They don't have any guidance, and they're shutting down. Like over in Marietta, they've shut down so many apartment complexes and everything. So they're moving further out here, and they want to do better for themselves. Their mothers or fathers or whoever they're living with want better for them. That's why they're moving here, and it's like they can't. So they take the hard way out because nobody wants to help. Nobody is helping. There aren't any programs here. Sports cost thousands of dollars. Like all through middle school and elementary school and high school, I wanted to play so many sports. I wanted to do cheerleading. Cheerleading was $1,500. Volleyball was $2,000. Everything costs so much, and there aren't any grants. There aren't any scholarships. There's none of that over here. But Cobb County has so much money to put people in jail. They have so much money to prosecute people. They have so much money to bring us down. But they don't want to take any of that money and put it back into the community. They don't want to do that. They take that money and take away from the community. They're not putting anything and they're not giving back. They're not doing any of that. And it's so many other things that they could be using that money for. They're building new stadiums. They're building more jails. They're doing dumb stuff. When really you wouldn't have to build any more jails if maybe you built a recreation center that was free for kids. Something like that. Or across the street from Sprayberry is a place called the Mud Room, and it's from a local church. And you go there after, I used to go there all the time after school, but you go there after school, they have TVs, they have Xboxes, PlayStations, they give you snacks and juices. You can go there in the wintertime, there's hot chocolate and tea. They have computers where you can do your homework at. There's sitting areas. If you need help with your homework, they're more than happy then to help you. They will help you. Why can't we have more stuff like that going on? I don't understand why they take so much from the community and don't put any of that back in. I don't understand. Or like, justice isn't really fair. It's not. There are so many innocent people in jail. How many people in jail do you think really committed the crimes that they're in there for? Or how many people in jail do you think are very bad people? Like, everybody that goes to jail isn't a bad person. Everybody that goes to jail isn't guilty. But the way life is set up, if you're gonna fight something, they'd rather spend that money to prove you wrong. Even if you're right and you're telling the truth, they rather spend that money to prove you wrong. They want you behind bars. And I don't see it. There was I think he was about my age, and he was going to college, and he raped a girl, and they gave him, I think, 5 years probation because they didn't want to ruin his chance to go in college. If that was a black boy, he would have got 5, 10 plus years, 15 years probably in prison. And there's a young boy that I went to school with. I went to middle school with him, and he was 17. They gave him 23 years in prison for a murder that he didn't even commit. But there's no way for him to fight that. He doesn't have the money for a lawyer. His mother doesn't have the money for a lawyer. So it doesn't work. And the justice system is very corrupt. Like, most of the time, the prosecutor and the public defender, public attorney, whatever you want to call it, they're all friends. They're buddy-buddy. They're with the judge. They don't care. They don't care if you're innocent or not. All they care about is the money. That's all they care about. So it's really nothing that you can do anymore. And protesting is not getting anywhere, obviously, because there are a lot of peaceful protests that are getting shut down. People are getting hurt at peaceful protests, and it's not even them. I understand the violent ones, so that's not okay. That's not okay at all. And people saying, let's shoot back, that's not okay either. But it's so much that needs to be fixed, and I don't really know what else people can do. Like, I have a YouTube channel. I volunteer all the time. I've always volunteered with things. I've been a part of so many extracurricular activities in school. Tried to give my younger siblings and younger family something to look forward to in life, something to look up to, something better that they can look forward to, rather than just sitting in the house on the phone, on watching TV, all of that. I try to have them do something positive. So I have this YouTube channel, and maybe I can inspire more people to do something positive. That's why I started it, not just because I wanted to be on YouTube, but I wanted to give other people something positive to look forward to, and give myself something more positive to look forward to. This inspires me. Like, I'd be having a bad day or something like that, and I get on YouTube and I record something, and I spend my time editing it rather than spending my time doing something worse. And so it's just, we have to do something. We have to start in our homes first, and then we can try to move forward and help out other people, other places. But I don't really know what else to do. It's never going to be equal. So I don't know what to do.
Fear, intimidation, and the chance for fatherless boys to feel a sense of belonging.
Kids who have little to no family involvement at home. These gangs will give them that. They'll give them that family feeling that you belong to us, that sense of belonging.
Sergeant Cavinder says arresting people will not solve the gang problem. The only way to change the problem is to change the thinking.
And the CEO of the Housing Authority says 60 children were turned away last year due to a lack of money and space, stressing just how important it is to have well-structured programs in place so kids can have the support and guidance they deserve.
But someone could go to Iraq and come back with post-traumatic stress disorder, right? From seeing his man get killed. But we can suffer from police brutality, but no one think black people fucking sick. From seeing their own brother being murdered in front of his wife-to-be. You don't think that traumatized a bunch of us black men in America and traumatized a bunch of black women in America, and seeing it over and over play out with no edits? But if I say something against homosexuals, my post may be blocked. But if I show you a black man being murdered live and direct with the blood, and we watch his last breath, they don't block the fucking Instagram post. They don't block the Facebook post. We can see one of our own get murdered in cold blood from the very beginning to the end. We can see it in cold blood. No edit. But if I say something...
Hey, what are you doing?
Huh?
Jaywalking, stop right there!
What?
Stop right there! Stop! What? No! Stop! No! Get down! Get down right now! Get down on the ground! You're resisting arrest! No, cooperate!
I can't breathe.
You know jaywalking is against the law! It's a federal offense! What are you doing? Don't you move! Don't you touch me! I'm gonna back up! This is Officer Shooter responding to a request for backup. What seems to be the problem here? This man was jaywalking! Alright, stand back, let me handle this. Son, put your hands up right now. Son, I'm asking you to put your hands up. Son, if you do not put your hands up, I'll be forced to use this fire and dispose of your threat. Son, are you listening to me? Don't you play dumb, son. He's reaching for... Alright, you asked for it, motherfucker!
I feel like you have to walk on tippy toes everywhere you go. With getting a job, you're going to be judged. I feel like it's very judgmental and it's not safe. And even for the younger kids, it's very hard. When my son rides in a car with a baseball bat and waving it around, I'm scared driving like, hey, put that down, because I don't want us to get shot at because they think you have a gun. That's it. I'm done.
I've been born and raised in Charlie, and I never felt this way till now. And I can't stay at home and treat it. And it's a shame that our fathers and mothers are killed and we can't even see them anymore.
That's right.
It's a shame that we have to go to that graveyard and bury them. And we have tears, and we shouldn't have tears. We need our fathers and mothers.
I feel that it's really serious out here now. You have to really just watch everything that's going on in the world. Just like, okay, the gas prices is like the shortage of gas, and it's like right around election time. Like, you just gotta watch everything that's going on in the world, and it's not made for black people. I feel like you just have to really just watch everything that's going on, like, in the world as of now. And I just feel that, you know, it's bad that we have to bring our kids up in this world because they're innocent children, and we have to worry about, like, our sons, our daughters, just anybody, you know, if they go out, you know, could they get killed by a police officer? Like, I feel that, who do we really have to call on? I mean, now it's like, I'm scared to call a police officer. They might try to kill me because I'm black. Like, you just have to watch what's going on and just be safe and just stay out their way. That's all I could really say about it. But it's just a lot going on. And
or like, why are you not letting your child go trick-or-treating this year?
Oh yeah, and another thing, like the thing with the clowns, like, that's another aspect that just came out of nowhere. Like, you have to just, I'm not letting my child go trick-or-treating this year because you're not gonna know who's the real clown or not, or who's really dressed up as a clown. And I feel that it's not safe, and that just came out of nowhere. Like, it's different little things that's like, you just gotta watch everything that's going on in the world because it's all leading to a message. So,
like, how does it feel knowing that your daughter is gonna miss out on a lot of things in life that she could have experienced just because she's disadvantaged because of the color of her skin?
I feel that, well, I hope that things change. Hopefully we get some kind of justice for everything that's been going on, and I just hope that, because as of now, I don't feel safe letting her out and go to certain places because of the things that's going on in the world around us. So hopefully things get better. If not, I'm just going to always protect her in the best way possible.
And certainly people upset here tonight, but we've got, you know, innocent business owners who are now going up in flames. What's it going to take for you guys to be okay tonight and to stop this chaos?
It ain't me. It's not me. I'm going to let y'all know that now. It's not us guys neither. And I'm glad that y'all said that. It's not us. It's the police. This the madness that they spark up. This is what they encourage. This is what they provoke. This is what you get out of you taking a loved one from someone. This is what you get. You get a lot of people that's hurt, and they can't vent the right way. They can no longer depend on the police to be here to protect us like they say they're going to do. So this is what you get. And no, it's not going to end today. I can't tell you it's going to end tomorrow. I don't know when it's going to end. But it's for y'all to start. We're not the ones that's killing us. Y'all killing us. We can't make a change if y'all don't change.
All right. Thank you, Stan. I appreciate it.
I feel like being black at school makes you feel like you're a tough person or anything, but I don't think that's true because, like, if there's a black person dancing or anything, a white girl will probably try to dance, and everybody will say, "You're a white girl. Why are you dancing to the song and everything?" And that's messed up. So we shouldn't be judged by our color because it's just the color on our skin. It's not like it's going to affect the whole world, even though it used to with slavery.
Do you know what's going on in the world? Like people getting shot for no reason.
Oh yes. Like
How you feel about that?
I feel disappointed because I know some white policemen will judge black people because they might think they're thugs or anything, when they're just like get the gun out and shoot them. So that's very disappointing.
Do you feel safe?
No, I don't feel safe. That's probably why I like staying in the house.
Do you go outside?
No,
Say I don't go outside.
I don't go outside.
What do you do when you get home from school?
I do my homework. I rather clean or play on my phone or making me something to eat.
Or why don't you go outside?
Because the outside world is is a dangerous place, like where anything can happen. Like that clown story, it's messed up. It can happen anywhere, anything. Like that black thing, like that police thing, where policemen are just shooting black people for no reason. That's disappointing. Or you get judged by your color.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'll say it a million times. I'll say it till I'll say it till I'm dead. So in your household, the most important thing you can teach your children is how to start a business, how to manage money. I mean, seriously, it's a simple solution. Make sure your child knows how to start a business at an early age. Because a lot of these kids out here, a lot of these young dudes can't get, they feel lost. They're stuck. They're mad. They ain't got nothing. And the reason they ain't got nothing is because they don't, A, know how to come together, and then B, know how to start a business together. If you took 5 brothers that are down on their luck, let's say 5 dudes that got a little skill, a little education, but all of them ain't got a job, and you pull them together and pull their resources and their ideas together, I guarantee with a little guidance, a little hard work, they could create something that's theirs. It's real. The answers are out here. The answers are out here. Anyway, I'm about to go. Don't forget, I'll be here in Philly, May 5th and May 6th. You can go to the drboycewatkinstour.com.
Basically, how you feel about everything that's been happening?
Well, I think that everything that's been happening is a result of us having no true leadership. Back in the days, we had people like Martin Luther King. We had very strong men that was proactive, that promoted family structure and pride. We had strong women who stood up for women's rights. And as far as someone sitting on the bus, pointing out discriminations that we had, to the point now where we fight to sit on the back of the bus when we had someone who fought for us to not sit on the back of the bus. So, I think as the generation goes on, I don't think our history and greatness is being brought out. I think it's being forgotten with the present history. And that is the real problem, I would like to say, that we are coming across.
So what can we do to fix it?
One of the things we can do is fix it is give the parents the power again. People frown upon prayers, but I think if we was to have prayer in school with just a silence, a moment of silence to acknowledge that we're actually standing for something instead of just so happy-go-lucky with our lives that we don't need to pray. We don't need to acknowledge that there's any problem at all. The only time we get upset is when we see things in the news. And that has to change. We should already be upset. We have a lot of young people that, if you want to make changes, one of the things I think that people have to go back to starting at home. I think the home structure provided such a good foundation for a child to grow up through. That means that we need to have more mothers and fathers at home. We need to have more mothers and fathers not locked up with felonies. We need to have more mother and fathers.
But what about some of those mothers and fathers that are locked up because they felt like they didn't have another option? Because most of the time, a lot of the people are innocent, but they take a plea and do all that instead of getting their entire life taken away from them, risking going to trial. Because a lot of prosecutors and judges are very, very crooked. They're in the same group of friends. They have bonds with each other. They're very crooked, but just because of their status, it's different.
Well, I hear what you're saying, but back then, they used to put fire hydrants on us. They used to stick dogs on us. They used to do a lot of things to get us to try to change our mind and break us. But we stood strong, we stood tall, and we stood together. We marched. So when a black person got locked up or a black person had injustice, it got to the point where it would not be silenced. It would not be slid under the rug. They marched, and they marched with authority, pride. We have to have that again.
How does what is going on right now affect the way that you raise your children or the way your grandchildren are raised?
Well, the way that it affected is, like, again,
or your concerns for their safety?
You have to talk to them. You have to pray. Sometimes you have to explain people. You have to explain to people. Sometimes you could be your worst enemy. Like, you don't have to go out at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Or it's not necessary for you to have to party and go out so much. With anything, it comes great responsibility. So that means that if you was to use that extra time that you're using to turn up and party, and if you was to read books, if you was to educate yourself, make sure that the younger kids was educated, and y'all was into that books, outside wouldn't be so attractive. You would want to stay in. You would want to sit and watch TV with your mother and father. You would want to play games and do things as a family, because that starts a family bond. Learning is a tool, and it's a tool that can be used in a lot of different ways. It can be used to educate, it can be used to motivate, and it can be used to open up almost any door that you want. The possibilities could be endless if you learn. But you got to be willing to learn.
You finished?
Yes.
All Negro leaders have fought for civil rights.
What do you mean
they
by
have
fought?
begged for civil rights. They have begged the white man for civil rights. They have begged the white man for freedom. And anytime you beg another man to set you free, you will never be free. Freedom is something that you have to do for yourselves.
Asked him to show his hands. He refused to follow commands given by the officer.
He's got his hands up there for it now.
As they got closer to the vehicle, he reached inside the vehicle.
This guy's still walking. They had been following commands. Not for taser, I think.
Could you tell us again how many officers were on the scene when the shot was fired?
I don't know how many officers were on the scene. I know of at least 2 that were on scene when the shot was fired. I don't know how many more than that.
I mean, do you...
That's got a feeling that's about to happen.
That looks like a bad dude, too, to be honest with you.
Think about the terrorists that they captured in New Jersey.
Yep.
Think about the black that killed those cops in Texas. Now, one guy they had cornered, had him pinned down.
Yep.
They sent a bomb.
Yeah.
They had never used this technique before, but they sent the bomb around the corner and blew him up.
They blew him up.
Now, the guy in New York that set off the bomb, injured 29, got into the shootout with the cops in Jersey. He wanted him alive.
He wanted him alive.
Hold on, wait. I missed Skip.
Okay, but
Skip,
you know how cops feel about cop killers. You know how they feel about cop killers.
Hold up. I got into a... Oh, you don't think that guy in Jersey was trying to kill them cops? Oh, he was just shooting play.
Well, he was just, defending himself. But, I mean, this guy had ambushed, he killed 5 Dallas policemen?
But Skip...
I got what you're saying. I'm with you.
He's into a shootout.
Yeah.
But see, that just goes to show. And then when the optics of that, when you see on television, because Skip.
Come over here. No. I got fucking Hey, Sal.
What the guns for? Well, you see?
I ain't got no ones.
Then who y'all got a warrant for? What y'all pointing the gun up here for?
Because when you get shot, while we're
shot.
I ain't nobody getting shot. I just brought them out to the door, man.
Alright, we're done.
Damn, y'all put the gun down. Nobody finna do nothing, bro. Our hands is right here.
My fiance right here pregnant, man. Get that shit off me, man.
Go back in the house. Go back in the house.
I'm saying I got a lawyer. I got a family lawyer.
Damn, they got a little Bobby food? Yeah. They out here deep, nigga. Them folks so motherfucking deep. I don't folks know this man was here, fool.
Got his car right here, fool.
Look at my everybody do his flag.
I ain't talking about shit.
Genuinely believe that he was shot by a rubber bullet. There is no way. I understand that that's not supposed to be lethal force, but it happens. People do die from getting shot by rubber bullets, and now the media is trying to make it out that another protester killed this man, and it's not the fucking truth. I was standing right there. You can see his blood on the sidewalk. That man was not killed by another protester. CMPD accidentally killed him. They didn't mean to use lethal force, but they used rubber bullets, and it took his life, and they need to take accountability for their actions, because saying that it was another protester is just another way for the media to skew this against Black Lives Matter and against the protesters who were there and being peaceful. Of course, there are people who were there for the wrong reasons. Of course, there are people who were doing fucked up things. But I saw so many protesters stop people who were going and trying to, like, bang on windows or flip over trash cans or kick over a potted plant. You know,
I'm afraid. I'm afraid for my children. I'm afraid for myself. I'm afraid for people that I love.
Shots fired!
An unarmed black man is 5 times more likely to be killed by a police officer than an unarmed white man? That's fucking crazy. This country is failing horribly at that premise that all men are created equal.
I told him not to reach for it. I told him to get his hand out.
America has an epidemic that is very obviously dividing our nation. The investment that we make right now in voting, it's a step. If young people turned out at 100%, that will be the active movement in changing the narrative. It's important right now to make sure we are appointing the officials who will advocate for what we are protesting for. It takes 3 minutes to register to vote. Vote with me. Vote with attention, November the 8th.
But you see, the legal aid is going to get paid an extra $500 plus. If you say that you're guilty, but he'll get nothing if he proves you're innocent. And this doctor's going to get $10,000 or more if you perform a C-section. But we think white people are above and beyond it. So these white folks is getting an extra $10,000 plus for C-sections and getting nothing if the birth is conducted the regular way. But we thinking nigga shit is above and beyond the one who created the nigga in the first place.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
How could the white man be above and beyond the nigga? He created the nigga. He spent hundreds of years to get this result. And that's why I tell people, even though I'll be pissed off what our brothers and sisters do, I know we was manufactured. You see how some shit is made in China? We made in America, bruh.
Lots of questions in the air tonight as they try to solve what happened here. This is what we understand from what police told us. The call went out for a man who was acting erratic. He was apparently, as they said, in traffic and was a danger to himself and motorists. By several accounts, his sister called police and wanted them to respond as quickly as possible. Police say it took them 50 minutes. And here's what happened when the sister found that her brother had been shot.
I just called for help and you came and killed me. Oh my God, you killed my brother. I called you guys to come and help, not to kill my brother.
son, a 9-year-old son, and a 2-year-old daughter. And, you know, I look at my son being 4 years removed from driving his own car and being able to leave the house on his own. And it's a scary thought right now to think, you know, if my son gets pulled over, you know, and you tell your kids, if you just apply and you just listen to the police, that, you know, they will be respectful and things will work itself out. And you see these videos that continue to come out. It's a scary ass situation. That if my son calls me and said he's been pulled over, that I'm not that confident that things are going to go well and my son is going to return home. And my son just started the 6th grade. So, you know, we just want the conversation to continue to keep going. And I don't have the answer. None of us have the answer. But the more times that we can talk about it, the more times we can conversate about it, because I'm not up here saying that all police are bad, because they're not.
Many of the components for generating and transmitting electricity were invented by brown-eyed people. Brown-eyed people gave us our alphabet. Brown-eyed people gave us our numeration system. Brown-eyed people gave us the paper on which we write these anonymous letters to me that tell me that brown-eyed people are inferior. When you go home, you people do not pray for me, particularly you. Don't you pray for me. Because see, I don't have to worry about that. All of a sudden, you ain't going to pray for me. Now, brown-eyed people are the ones who originated or who founded every major religion on this earth. No white people have ever founded a major religion. Now, you need to realize the contributions that have been made to society, to civilization, by brown-eyed people, by people of color. I'm talking about people of color here, folks. And most of us are not aware of those things because we live in a racist society and because we are educated by a racist school system that only teaches us about white contributions. And that's a fact. And
people, the conflict of just being pulled over by a white man, you may not know if this is going to be your last day on earth. Last time I got pulled over, it's the first thing I thought about. It's a stigma of being black. I don't care where you are on the planet. If you look like me, when that elevator, I was in a hotel elevator with a white woman, and she had the nerve to look like she was uncomfortable. But I pulled out $1 and said, just take my money, leave me alone. You know why? Because my race doesn't have a history of double castrating people, kidnapping us by the middle.
First of all, let's look at it from a psychological perspective. If you live in an aggressively racist society and you're not angry, I think that would be indicative of mental illness. For you to be a victim of oppression and to not be angry about it, something must be wrong with you. You see, that's like being physically, sexually, or emotionally abused, and it doesn't bother you. That's illness right there. How could you be so numb to your own mistreatment? So for black people to be angry at what's happening to us, I think it's healthy. But I think it can be unhealthy if we don't find appropriate channels to release that anger. Because what happens is we keep it in, and it builds, and it builds, and the next thing you know, you're blowing somebody's head off. A lot of these homicides, we call them senseless killings, right? You know why they're so senseless? Because they are nothing more than reactions to pent-up frustration born of white racism.